There is something that has been simmering in my consciousness for over 10 years now, an anger, an unanswered question of an injustice that has yet to be avenged. In 2005, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks came out. I was a big fan of Mortal Kombat in those days, and a massive fan of the 3D PS2 fighters, Deadly Alliance and Deception. I knew every combo in Deception, had unlocked everything that there was to unlock, and it was probably the best I've ever been at any one game. In the days before online console gaming took off, I had no way of proving it, so you'll just have to trust me. And then along came Shaolin Monks. Shaolin Monks was a cool concept. Unlike a one-on-one fighter, it was a full-on action adventure starring Liu Kang and Kung Lao in an alternate history of Mortal Kombat 2. The gameplay was fast and fluid, and it was a really solid effort. The main story was a little short, however, and it lacked a certain replayability. The fighting was visceral, with the added arena space offering plenty more options for creative kills. This was compounded upon by the upgrade system, which allowed you to unlock new moves at certain intervals and a great many different combos. The star of the game was undoubtedly the fact that the entire story could be beaten co-op. It harkened back to the glory days of Mega Drive beat-em-ups like Streets of Rage, and the addition of special moves that you could only do with a partner made it all the more exciting. It was an absolute blast to play through this title with my brother, and we loved every minute of it. We loved it so much, in fact, that we were determined to unlock all of the game's secrets. We did this, slowly but surely, using what information we could glean from the internet forums and Midway's own boards, in which people were sharing useful hints and facts. Games were a bit more difficult to fully complete in those days, as the internet wasn't quite as organised as it is today, or at least it felt that way. And then came the smoke missions. These were a set of 5 incredibly difficult semi-secret side quests that, if defeated, heralded a kingly gift. Figuring out what to do was the first part, as the instructions were normally a single line and somewhat ambiguous. You didn't have quest markers or anything to point you in the right direction, but with a bit of trial and error you could normally work it out. But the prize was worth it. If you beat them all, you unlocked Mortal Kombat 2. I had played Mortal Kombat 2 before, but only on the Mega Drive. This unlocked the arcade version, which I knew to be superior, and which I desperately wanted to try. I could download MAME and try it through there, but in those days it was still buggy and not quite up to par, and the risk of viruses from emulation websites was all too prevalent and real. I had gotten a few. My PC wasn't particularly good, and the emulation was a lot more straining on systems back then. We've come a long way in 12 years. The only option was to soldier on, and me and my brother spent an entire day combing through the entire game until we had eventually done it, and the screen appeared. Yes! Hooray! Smoke himself was telling us we had unlocked Mortal Kombat 2. Now the footage on screen here is from the Xbox version of the game. I've got this footage from World of Longplays, thanks to Longplayer RickyC, but the message was exactly the same on the PS2 version, and I would have been playing as Liu Kang rather than Scorpion. Shaolin Monks had a content menu in which all unlockables that didn't affect gameplay would stay, consisting of things like concept art, music, etc. It was in here that the game was supposed to live and be selectable. However, it wasn't. Searching high and low, it was absolutely nowhere to be found. We tried turning the console on and off, saving and loading, trying everything we could think of in-game to get it to appear. We didn't have any luck, so I took to the internet. I went directly to Midway's own forums, and there my heart began to drop as I saw the other posts. Multiple people asking the same question: where was Mortal Kombat 2 after completing the smoke missions? Nobody could find it. I've scoured the Wayback Machine for my own thread, but alas, it seems lost to the ravages of time. On screen now is one topic that I can find that was posted, and it was pretty indicative of the posts that were going on. There wasn't that many replies to most of these, so I just started my own. I remember my exact words. Me and my brother have spent the day beating the smoke missions, and the game says we have unlocked MK2, but we can't find it anywhere. Did we do something wrong? The reply came soon, and it was from a forum representative of Midway. Sorry, but MK2 is not available in the PAL version of the game. I was absolutely outraged. How could this happen? More importantly, how could they keep both the quest and the congratulation of the quest in the game, yet take out the reward? It was almost a cruel experiment. To state in a game that you have unlocked something, only for it to be a lie, is unacceptable, and to this day I can't believe it happened. I'm sure the reason was down to some sort of licensing issue, but they should have taken out the quest. I remember reading about being able to unlock it in the first place, from a magazine of the time. Alas, I cannot remember the name of it, but I remember being equally annoyed about the unlockable being advertised in this way. My young self even considered writing to the false advertising boards, as I was truly mad. Could you imagine if this happened nowadays? Midway lucked out. They pulled this off at a time just before YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and in a game that wasn't a particularly huge hit. If it happened nowadays, it would trigger all sorts of questions. It would be people against money-grabbing corporations, class action lawsuits would be filed, the company and the creators would be forced to apologise and give the player some sort of bonus for the mislead, and the internet would lose its shit, destroying confidence in the company forever. Today, Midway is no more, resigned to the annals of video game company history. Whilst many developers went on to join NetherRealm Studios, when Midway closed down originally, I was sad for people losing their jobs. However, I couldn't help but feel a twang of justice. I hope you enjoyed watching this little tidbit of gaming history. If anyone has anything to add to the story, or has their own memories of it, or indeed any other great injustices in gaming, comment them below, and don't forget to share the video and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Goodbye!